Alrighty, so welcome and thank you for joining us for the Destinations Exploration meeting. My name is Chelsea Smith, and I am a Girl Experience Specialist, formerly Program Manager. We changed up our names recently, but it's still the same role if you've been around for a while. Same thing, just different name. Anyway, I work out of the Dayton office in the Central Region, and I am the Girl Scouts of Western Ohio um, travel administrator. So I administrate the destinations program specifically, and I approve any troop trips if you've ever gone on a troop trip with your troop before. So you might have heard from me before if you've done that. But today I'm here to answer a bunch of questions about destinations, what they are, and basically the whole entire process that goes into that. So today we're going to learn about destinations and what that means for girls in grades 6th through 12th grade. Now, this meeting is for girls who are juniors on up. That is because we want to make sure that you are prepared and ready for destinations. That way, you know what you're working towards. That way, you know how to prepare to go on a destination because we wouldn't want to just send you on a destination if you have never traveled before. I feel like if you've never traveled before, that would just be like, really, really crazy and it might be overwhelming. So we're going to kind of talk to you about that too. Oh, and if you need to get a hold of me, there is my email and my phone number. It's going to pop up at the end of this as well. So I'm just going to keep moving forward. So, our agenda for today, we're going to go over what are destinations, the Girl Scout travel progression, all about destinations, how to learn more, how to apply, and then what's next. So, first, we need to talk about destinations. What are they, and what do we know about them? So, we call them the ultimate Girl Scout travel adventure. Girl Scout destinations are travel programs for individual Girl Scouts at the cadet, senior, or ambassador levels. With different trips every year, there's something amazing for everyone to experience. Both here in the United States and abroad, these trips last from 4 to 5 days to 2 weeks and mostly take place during the summer, although there have been a few that happen over winter breaks. Individual girls apply for destinations from across the movement, so you might make friends from all over the country while you are out traveling either domestically or internationally. And you might make friends with Girl Scouts from overseas. Destinations are unfortunately only for the girls. Some of these trips sound really amazing, and I myself get really jealous when I look at all these trips. I wish I could go on them, and I wish I knew about these when I was a cadet through ambassador. But unfortunately, I am an adult now and I can't go on them. But it's a great idea to encourage your girls to look at these trips because they truly are spectacular. Destinations are for girls who are ready to take travel to the next level, and they're for girls who are just ready to make new friends and travel and see the world. So, the Girl Scout travel progression. We talk about progression a lot in Girl Scouts. Let's talk a minute about travel progression. How do you know you're ready for a destination, and how do you get ready if you're not quite there yet? First, let's talk about why girls love to travel. Girls like to travel, they like to go on field trips. So as brownies, girls like to go on field trips. It's that first step before they go on global adventures that they might take as teens. Through travel, Girl Scouts gain confidence, have new experiences, meet challenges, and expand their understanding of themselves and the world around them, becoming global citizens. And of course, travel is super fun. Most girls start out traveling with their troops, from day trips to overnights to week-long journeys to the US or abroad. Older Girl Scouts can travel independently with groups from their local council or on destinations, our national travel program for independent teens. I remember when I was a brownie, junior and up, going on trips. Some were to our camps. I remember going to Camp Libby a lot. I remember going to Hocking Hills quite a few times. I remember my troop did a lot of traveling, and I have seen going and approving troop trips. I've seen girls go down to Florida and go to Disney. I've seen girls go out west to some of the national parks, and I've seen girls go overseas to the United Kingdom. So our Girl Scouts and our council are pretty well traveled, and a lot of them go as a troop, but it's also great to see them go on destinations as well. So here is our travel progression. Hopefully you can see that. If not, it's definitely something you can look up. The Girl Scouts travel progression is a guide to helping girls develop and travel skills they need to become confident, independent travelers while having amazing, fun experiences along the way. By following this travel progression, you will find new travel adventures to experience at every level of Girl Scouting and build more confidence in your abilities as a traveler and a travel planner. Destinations is the peak of the travel progression for Girl Scouts in the sorry, independent travel category. Designed for girls who already have some extended national travel experience or international travel experience, you'll embark on an independent journey with Girl Scouts from across the movement. If you don't have much travel experience yet, think about how you can build up this experience. Are you part of a troop that is interested in traveling? Can you take the lead on some of the planning on family vacation? Can you start by attending summer camp? For help planning a trip with your troop, Girl Scouts have two resources for you: a guide to planning travel in the US and a global travel toolkit for international travel. Check out the Girl Scout website, travel section, and find both of these resources. And I'll see if we can find those when we go and look at their website later. This is my friend Kaylin, and last summer Kaylin went on her first destination. She participated in the North Country Rock and Wilderness. And in that destination, she, I believe, canoed the boundary waters between Canada and I think it's Minnesota, one of the northern states there. Um, and she had a wonderful time. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here tonight to talk about her trip, but I've had the opportunity to work with her a lot. She has been one of my junior instructors at Troop Adventure Camp. For the past 2 summers. So I have heard a lot about her destination. I've also heard from her mom about the destination before, and the experiences that she had from both perspectives, from mom's perspective, from Kaylin's perspective. Um, Kaylin had a great time. She learned a bunch of things that, you don't learn unless you're solo traveling with new people. And mom said it was a great growing experience for her, and that initially, she was a bit worried, but she came back and she built all these skills, and it was just a wonderful experience for her. Alrighty. So all about destinations. We're gonna get back to that now. Um, let's learn more about these trips. So destinations by the numbers. There are about 25 to 35 trips offered each year. Half of them are domestic trips and half of them are international trips. There are between 500 and 600 participants and about 14 girls per trip. Although some of the trips have 7 to 8 girls and some of the trips can have 30. It just depends on what trip it is. There also is a destination for everyone. So if you're wanting to stay local, there are domestic trips, so within the United States. If you are wanting to go internationally, there are trips all over the place. We'll take a look at that later. If you are an outdoorsy person, an adventure person, there are trips that are outdoorsy and adventurous. If you're a STEM person, there are trips that are STEM focused. If you are interested in culture or cooking or really anything that could be considered life skills, there's a trip for that. And then there are career focused trips too. And we'll take a look at those later. Destinations are organized, or as we like to say, hosted in three different ways. A Girl Scout Council might host a destination. For example, they might host a program for girls from across the US at their summer camp. For example, another destination that somebody went on a few years ago, it was, I forget what the exact name, but it was a Harry Potter destination. So they started off going to one of the Girl Scout camps in Texas, and spent a few days there. And then from there, they flew to the UK and went to a couple of like the filming locations over there. But that Texas council hosted that trip. Sometimes a Girl Scout council wants to host a program overseas and partner with a tour provider to travel internationally. So that's kind of that situation as well. And finally, Girl Scouts of the USA has relationships with a few tour providers who create and run destinations just for Girl Scouts. And when we look at the website, we'll check into a few of those and see who is hosting them this year, because I think they've changed up who's hosting them. Girl Scouts of the USA does not organize and run any destinations directly. In all of these cases, the destination host has experienced adult chaperones already in place to prepare the girls before they travel and to guide the girls through their travel adventure. All of these hosts follow all Girl Scout safety rules and guidelines, including our safety activity checkpoints. All right, so this is an important part. Who can apply? I'm glad you asked. Destinations are for individual girls. Troops cannot apply, and girls are discouraged from applying in groups or pairs. Since this is a chance for you to step out of your comfort zone and explore on your own. The program is designed for cadets, seniors, and ambassadors, but not every trip is for every age. Some trips are just for cadets, and some trips are just for girls over 14 or 15. Check the website for age requirements for each trip. Some trips are posted 2 years in advance, so when you look on the website, make sure you think about how old you'll be in 2 years. Girl Scout juniors can definitely start looking at destinations now. As a reminder, adults are not eligible to participate. You must be a registered Girl Scout member with your local council, but if you're not currently registered, that's okay. You can register now and apply. So if you know somebody, if you have a girl in mind that you think this would be a great opportunity for them, you can whisper in their ear and say, hey, you should apply for that. how to learn more. Let's look at how you can learn more about the specific destinations available next year. And some trips for the following year are already posted now. Okay, so here we have a link to the destinations website. So you should be able to go to excuse me, girlscouts.org/destinations. So I am going to try to take you there right now. Give me one moment. Okay. All right, and I'm actually going to show you how to get there from our website. Um, should be able to go to Discover, and I believe what Girl Scouts do and I might be wrong there. So the easiest way to do this is just type it in the search bar and just type travel. And it'll take you, the top result is travel. So it'll take you to our travel page, which apparently is not found right now. Oh boy, did I spell it wrong? Or, well, no, it came up. Let's try it again. They might be updating it because it was there earlier when I looked. Interesting. Never mind, I'm not going to show you how to get there from that one. Give me one moment. All right. So hopefully you can see the destinations page now. So what you're going to do is you're just going to scroll down and right away you can see destinations. Now, if you've heard of specific destinations, you can go ahead and search them in the normal search bar. There's also an advanced search. So you can search by keyword, you can search by date, you can sort it by program level, you can do it by category, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to take a look at the different destinations that are on right now. And some of these might change. They might add more later. So for example, there is one happening in March in Newport, Rhode Island, so a domestic trip, and it's the Global Leadership Conference. In April, oops, I just hit my microphone. There's one in the national parks, Desert Dreams. You click on it. It's for looks like 7th through 12th grade. National park. So Las Vegas, Nevada, roam through the Valley of Fire, go to Arizona, go to the Grand Canyon. So that one's really cool. If you like the outdoors, biology, indigenous culture, and entrepreneurship, and be able to tolerate dry heat. Um, you also, when you're looking at here, make sure you're looking at the cost. This cost will not always include the cost to travel there. So let's say you have to, drive to a place or get a plane from Ohio to a certain destination and then they take you from one destination to the final destination. Sometimes that doesn't include that, so just make sure you read the whole thing. Um, so like this one says this program fee does not include airfare. Talks about the deposit, final payment, cancellation policy. This is hosted by GSNYPENN Pathways. And you can click on that website, and then it has a contact person if you have questions. And then down here, we'll look at this later, but it has information on how to apply, how to register. So that's April one, so not quite this summer. May, not quite this summer. So let's look at one. Here's a couple. So we have one that goes to Dublin, London, and Paris. We got pandas and pagodas. So that one's in China. That's pretty cool. Here's the North Country Rock and Wilderness. So it was Minnesota. I was right. Um, the Dominican Republic, North Carolina, Northern California. So there's a bunch of places. There's one right here, the Tall Ship Sailing School. That's actually in Ohio. That's in Cleveland. And that is Northeast Ohio that puts that one on. That's really cool. I'm going to click on one more. It's going to be an international one. Ooh, okay. The islands of the South Pacific. Okay. So this one happens in 2027. So not this summer. This is 2 summers from now. Gives you plenty of time to save money. Um, and we'll talk about money here in a bit too. So this is for high schoolers, so 9th through 12th grade. Um, Looks like there's some snorkeling involved. There's going to Fiji, New Zealand, and the Cook Islands. That would be really, really cool. Um, More information. Let's see. Passion for trying new things and meeting new people. Sounds wonderful. Works well in a group. Flexible and open-minded. You need a passport. Um, Ignite your passion. Great. Program fee. It's a little pricey. It's upwards over $7,000. The program fee includes airfare from LA to New Zealand, so then you would have to provide airfare from here in Ohio to Los Angeles. There's a $300 deposit. Talks about the cancellation fee. This is hosted by Greater Los Angeles. There is somebody from Greater Los Angeles that's your contact. And then more about your pre-registration worksheet and your application online. Okay. So that's just double check and read everything through when you're looking at these. It's really important that you do that. Make sure I went over all this before I move on. Okay. I am going to go back to the PowerPoint. Okay. So we went to the website. We'll end up going back to the website in a little bit. Um, so just important things to remember. We are at this one. Just make sure when you're using the website, use your filters, especially for ages. It will be the school grade you'll be entering at the time of the trip. Make sure you use the year of the destination if you're wanting international or domestic, and the type of program that you're wanting. Each posting has photos, the general description as we saw, and details about the requirements, price, etc. Be sure to read the full description. Make sure that you're eligible based on the age and experience, and look at the activities and make sure this is the kind of trip that you actually want to go on. Yeah, it might be in a cool place, but if it's on a subject that you don't really want to be participating in, it might not be the trip for you. So just make sure you read all the details, and make sure you look at the price. Speaking of price, how much does a destination cost? Could be anywhere from 8,000 or 8,000, 800 to you saw the one was nearly $8,000. Um, Read the description carefully, compare the length of each trip, and does it include partial airfare? Some trips have decreased fees thanks to grant funding. Some trips have scholarships you can apply for. GSWO, that's our council, receives grant funding from the DPAS grant, a GSUSA grant, and puts aside funds to help send you on your destination. So that means if you decide to go on your destination, once you've applied and you've been accepted to your destination, I will send you an email and say, hey, I noticed you accepted your destination. Congratulations. I wanted to know if you would like to take advantage of the DPAS grant. All you have to do to get what we call a travel ship, it's like a scholarship, but for travel, is at the end of your trip, you need to write a short essay about your trip. What did you do? What did it mean? What did you learn? And send us some pictures. That's all you need to do. Super easy. And that will help pay for a portion of your trip. Other things you can do to earn money for your trip, definitely product sales. After you decide what experiences that you want to be a part of, you need to work on your money earning. What do you want to participate in? How many boxes of cookies do you need to sell to cover your costs? Learn how to set financial goals, plan strategies to achieve your goal, and give your girls confidence in financial literacy skills and, best of all, financial independence. Other things you can do, you could host a silent auction. So ask friends, family, or people from school, church, wherever to donate items and come to a silent auction party. And you can have some light refreshments, maybe some tea, maybe some lemonade, and you can get a short presentation of the trip that is so very awesome that you want to go on. And people can bid on those items, and the money earned can go towards your trip. You could also send a letter or email campaign. You can video record the presentation and send it to family or friends and ask for donations. Tell them that it's the perfect holiday gift or birthday gift. Um, in lieu of this, the random funny socks that you give me every year. Can you put that money towards my destination? Make sure you include things like a map of where you're going, the itinerary, the budget. Just make sure you paint a very vivid picture of what you need and what you're working towards. Other fundraising events that are planned should always be make sure your project is displayed well. Make sure you have a poster board or something that you can show people, even if you are doing it at a cookie booth. Always make sure that you consult the finance section of the Money Earning Basics of Volunteer Essentials and pay attention to the fundraising section as well, so that we don't do anything we're not supposed to be doing. All right. Um, Here is a parent perspective from a girl who went to space camp, the Space Academy. This is not somebody from our council, I don't believe, but just parent feedback. So, from a parent's perspective, it was incredibly heartening to witness our daughter grow in confidence. She met young women from Florida, Oregon, North Carolina, Indiana, etc. It was a diverse group and they melded beautifully. Evelyn's destination gave her experience in building interpersonal and problem-solving skills within a team. Okay, now you learned a lot about destinations. You've learned a little bit about where to find them, a little bit about how much they cost and money earning. But how do we apply? The application is very important. Completing the application will help you think about what skills and experiences you already have and what you want to get from your experience. The application will be reviewed by the destination host and helps the host determine if you would be a good fit for that destination. Destination applications are online forms, but should be completed in a worksheet form first to make sure all of your information is accurate and complete. You can then cut and paste the information into the online form, and we'll walk through that in just a little bit. Before we do that, we're going to look at this in a minute, but it's basically going to look like this image here on the right. Destination application information. There's a checklist. We'll have to go to that destinations page again. You're basically going to be doing a rough draft of the application because the way that the application works online is like if you filled most of it out and then you had to walk away for a minute and got distracted and the screen times out, it doesn't save. So you'd have to refill the whole thing out. So that's why we have you fill out the other form, like the paper form first that you can save, so that if something like that does happen or your computer dies or something, it's not a ton of extra work. You already have it saved. Before we show you that, couple extra things. Preparing your application, you need to make sure you have your contact information, your basic address, email, phone number, yada, 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 your council name. So if you didn't know, we are Girl Scouts of Western Ohio. If you use a different council name, we'll just be a little confused and we'll have to correct that. Western Ohio. You also need your parent and guardian contact information because that's pretty important for this. Other things you'll need to prepare, at least 2 references, their full names and their email addresses. Also, make sure you warn the references that you're using them, and make sure they're going to be references that will give you good references. If you use somebody who might not give you a good reference, try somebody else. Just a little tidbit. Also things to be prepared for. Just, make a list of things that you're involved in. Sports, school clubs, things that you're going to put like in an application for like, college applications, activities, your place of worship, that you're part of Girl Scouts, obviously. Any training or skills that you have, Girl Scout or non-Girl Scout, community service, jobs, family, home responsibilities, stuff like that. It's all really good for them to know. Make sure you list your travel experience, that you go to summer camp every single year without fail. You do the travel camps. You travel with your family every year on family vacation to this place, that place, and the other place. What those experiences mean to you, how you participate in those experiences, what have you. And then there's a couple of small essays, not super big. Um, you'll need a separate essay for each destination. What sparked your interest in that specific trip? What do you hope to get out of the experience? And what skills can you bring? And I make sure I'm not missing that. You can apply to up to 3 destinations. I don't think I missed that, but I might have. All right. I'll show you how to enter it online. So let's do that real quick. Okay. Go back to the website and then share the screen. Okay. I am back over here on the island of the South Pacific. And what you're going to do to find it, scroll all the way to the bottom of the destination to the pre-registration worksheet. Open. And then I think this. Okay. Share. Okay. Hopefully you're seeing. Oh no, what did I do? Escape. Too many screens. Okay. Hopefully now you guys are seeing the destination's application information. Can we confirm that? Yes. Thank you, Amanda. Okay. Um, it tells you about the timeline. So destination applications opened on August 1st. Early decisions deadline is November 15th. So coming up, um, if you apply by this date, early decisions will happen, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop applying. Like you can keep applying. There will be rolling applications afterwards. Because not all of the destinations will fill up right away. So just read through all the information. There's going to be the checklist. So draft your application on pages 3 and 4 of the worksheet. Make sure you have your references. Tell your references to check their junk mail because sometimes things just get stuck in junk mail. And then apply online. This is hyperlinked, so if you hit Control and then click with the mouse, should take you to the application. Then it'll tell you what happens next. Ready to get started? Heck yes, I am. So then you just fill it out. The normal stuff, name, Girl Scout Council, Girl Scouts of Western Ohio, name and dates of the destination, all your information, your parents' information, all the short answer questions, essay questions, references, online application, hyperlinked again. They put it in so many places. They even have a submission checklist if you want to print it out. It's pretty easy. So now I'm going to do the hyperlink here. There's also, I believe, submit online application form here. I'll just go from here. Continue. Oh, visit this updated application. Looky there. This is what you'll see. It gives you information. Destinations are posted annually on August 1st for the following year. Apply here for 2026. Read the instructions carefully. Download the information and application worksheet. Arrow. Are you a Girl Scout 13 years older or am I a parent / guardian of a Girl Scout under 13? For all intents and purposes, yes, I am. Okay. Click Click on each item below to highlight it. I have read this, I have read this, I have read this, I have read that, and done that. Move forward. Then you fill out all the information that was on your sheet. You go to the next page. It's not going to let me go forward because I didn't fill out the information on the sheet, but it's everything that was on the application. Once you submit it, what'll happen is I'll get an email and it's going to say, so and so, little Susie Girl Scout, has applied to go on a destination. Are they a part of your council? And I'll be like, let me check. Yes, they are. And I'll verify your Girl Scout Global ID number. And then anything we should know, I'll look, see if there's anything they should know. Nope. And send it off to them. And then they'll review it and you'll either get accepted or not and move on to the next one. And if you don't get accepted, then hopefully you applied to 3 and you'll get accepted to the next one. Okay, let's go back to there. Stop share that. Go back to PowerPoint. Got to hit share first. There we go. Okay. So I was talking about the timeline. So early decisions. Um, if you want to be considered for early decisions, um, it says the deadline is the 15th, but if you want to make sure that like all of your references and everything are in on time, really mark your calendar for November 1st. And then you should hear something back by December 15th. Non-refundable deposits must be paid by their deadline, set up by the host to lock in your spot, and then rolling admission accepted after this time period, but trips fill up quickly, so just pay attention to that. Let's see. Application reminders. Write a unique essay for each specific destination, talking about why that destination is for you. Please do not use the same essay for each one. They will catch on. Complete your application so that you're leaving plenty of time for your references. References don't always like to be rushed. Make sure that the email addresses you enter for yourself, your parents, and your references are exact and correct. This is the only way for the destination host to reach you. Also, fun fact, this person right here, she is from our council, and I believe she works for us now. Okay. Um, I hope that this was super informative, and if you have any questions, give me 1 second and I will stop the recording and you can go ahead and ask them.